This is a reading from my archives from June 2017. It's the story of a young man who died of a drug overdose. And the way that this reading came about was that I received a call from my son, who was very distraught and devastated because of the death of his friend. Nobody knew that this man was using heroin, so it was a real big shock. They found his body out in the woods. So my son asked me if I would do a reading for the young wife and the 2 little children that he left behind. And so I did. And I will read for you word for word what came from that young man, because it was one of the most extraordinary readings I've ever done. This is the original. I keep all of my readings in notebooks, so I have many, many notebooks. And this is what the young man had to say. This message is for my wife and friends and those I left behind. I have experienced a long and dark journey. I have realized that I am no longer encased in the flesh of my physical body. It took me a long time to realize this as fact, and I suffered some harrowing and fearful moments where I did not know where to turn for help. All around me was darkness. I could not understand what took place. Every step I took landed me further into darkness. I thought it must be a dream and that I would wake up at any moment. I swear I could feel my heart beating so fast, and I was afraid. It was like the bad trips I have taken on hallucinogenic drugs, but then I knew I was conscious on some level. With this experience, I did not. I realized after a long time that I was in a dark tunnel and that I was alone. I got even more afraid when I asked myself, am I dead? No, I can't be. I'm not ready to be dead. I have way too much to do. This must be a mistake. It also seemed so surreal. And then I had a big epiphany, and that was that I had always believed when a person dies, it just goes dark and there is nothingness. And I realized that I was experiencing the exact thing that I'd always believed to be true. And in my mind crept a tiny but persistent thought of, what if, just what if, I was wrong and there really is something more? As soon as I entertained that possibility, I saw off in the distance a pinpoint of light, and it came closer and closer as I realized I was curious and willing to accept the possibility that it was there. As it got closer, my fear dissolved, and I saw that it began to take shape into a beautiful, white, formless, and shapeless being of light. It spoke to my heart but used no words. It inquired as to whether or not I was willing to experience more light. I said yes, that I wanted to know more about where I was and what was happening to me. The being took me by the hand and led me to another place, a place where light and music was all around us. Suddenly, I remembered that this was the place I had been before I went into a body on earth. I recognized the music and the deep feelings of love and compassion for life. The being stimulated my memory, and I was able to look down at where I left my body on earth. I saw it was in a heap and lifeless. I remembered the searing pain that I had felt deep inside, but had never shared with anyone. The pain was so awful, and the drug I had discovered dulled it for brief interludes in time. I saw that in my desire to escape my private pain, I had begun to take more and more of the drug, and that it took more and more to dull the pain that I carried. I felt such shame that no one knew about my secret life, and the secret pain I carried within. So I hid it from everyone, and I thought I could continue to go on leading this double life. I became trapped within it after a very short time and knew not how to escape from it and the havoc it was wreaking in my life. I could see when I looked down from on high that I had taken too big of a dose. The dose put me over the edge, and from there would be no return. I wish to say several things in closing. First, I am so sorry to have left you all behind, and in such an abrupt fashion. I never meant for you to find out about my secret life, my pain, or to leave you high and dry. The light being is telling me I will be taken to a place of healing, and that when I return next time, I will take a job working to help others overcome both trauma and addiction, for the two go both hand in hand. Second, believe and know that who I really am has not passed away at all. I am still intact, but only in spiritual form. Everything I believed and insisted to be true about there being nothing after death was totally wrong. Not only do we survive, but there are benevolent forces that love and care for us if we ask for help. They may not violate our free will, so if we persist in a belief of nothingness after death, that is what we will experience. I have learned a valuable lesson and would like very much for you to pass this on to others. We do not die, and we are not our bodies. Too bad I found this out too late this time around. Next time, I will teach what I have learned to others, and through this process, my soul will progress along its journey to wholeness and to oneness with the Source. For now, all my love. And then he signed his name. And then he added a P.S. I will be around you. Watch for signs from heaven. And the extraordinary thing about this is I immediately typed this up and I sent it to my son, who sent it on to his wife. And it was very helpful for her. And about 2 months later, I got another request from my son asking from the man's wife if I would do another reading, because apparently they had been seeing some signs that he was around and they wanted confirmation. So I did do another one, and it was even more amazing than this first one. And I will share that one in another video. But I think what we all can take from this is we are not our bodies. We are far more than that. And life is just a test for us to face challenges and to overcome those challenges and to learn and grow. Because truly life is about the evolution of mind, body, and spirit. Have a great day.